I'm Jay, and welcome to the second edition of At Home Guitar. The last edition we had, which was like 4 months ago, because I like to do these every 4 months, it was looking at open E tuning, playing slide guitar with an open E tuning. I've been using this opportunity during the lockdown to kind of explore some ideas about guitar that I wanted to learn more about, and I thought maybe I would pass some of this stuff on to you. So, also, the last episode had over 700 views, so thank you for that. I was actually very surprised and very pleased. I'm glad. I hope it helped people. So what I'm going to talk about today is drop D tuning, and it's a very simple thing to do. You just take your guitar, and you're just going to tune it up, standard tuning, but you're going to take the E string, and you're going to drop it down to a D. So you're going to match your D string. So you might ask, well, why would I want to do drop D tuning? There's a couple of reasons that I can think of off the top of my head. If you're playing hard rock or metal, it makes it sound heavier. That droning, crunching D on the bottom of your chord sounds great, and I'll give you some examples of that when I switch to electric. But the thing that made me think of this is I saw a band on TV playing this Allman Brothers song, and they used the drop D tuning. And so this is really not to teach you the song, but to just explore drop D. But I'll show you. It's very simple. It's a D chord, and then the riff is on the A. And so you go A, and then the C, which is the 3rd fret, and then the open D, the regular D. That's Midnight Rider. I'm sure you recognize that one. The other chords are G minor 7, C. So normally you would play a G minor 7 like this, but because we've dropped the D down, dropped the E down to a D, we're going to play it like this with our ring finger on the 5th fret of the E and our pinky on the 5th fret of the A, and we'll create the chord like this. Then just a regular C chord, back to the D. I'm going to try to get this a little closer so you can see there's that D chord. It's like a regular D chord. I'm going to take my middle finger and I'm going to put it over here on the A string. You can see what I'm doing. G minor 7, so it's regular C chord, and then back to the D with your open D there at the bottom. So that's one example of a popular song that's done in drop D tuning that you might not have known. Here's another good one, the Foo Fighters, Everlong. So again, we have that drop D, and we're going to, fire. Okay, fire's over, crisis averted. The Foo Fighters, Everlong. So we're going to make this, we're going to play this song like this. We're going to use kind of like a regular F sharp bar chord. We're just going to play the top part of it, the first 3 strings, plus that open D. And then we're going to put our finger on the 9th fret of that open D, drop that same shape down to the 5th fret, and then back up to the 9th fret. So you have okay, so we're kind of like an F sharp here for the 9th fret. We're just going to use those notes there. It's the top 3. Adding in the low bass with the drop D. That's enough to impress your friends. There's a lot to the song, but I don't know the rest of it. So now we're going to switch over to electric guitar, and I'll show you some of the other things that come to the top of my head. Oh, that's noisy. Strats are noisy. So another song that's in drop D tuning that's very easy to play, and also a nice love song. So if you want to play a song for your significant other on Valentine's Day or an anniversary, this might be a good one. That's a little Manson. I don't suggest it. I don't recommend it for a love song. But that's a very easy song to play. I'm going to just take off the distortion so I can explain it a little bit. So all you're doing is you're barring your finger with the first 3 notes. So it makes a chord all by itself. It plays a root, the 5th, and then the octave. Okay, so here we're just doing that, and then we're going to go up to the 6th fret. That's a good one. And that might be a little easier to see. Apologize for the noise. So you're just going to take these 3 notes right there on the 3rd fret, and then open. And then the other chord is the same 3 notes, same 3, like the same position, on the 6th fret, and then open. More fires. So there are lots of bands that use drop D tuning because it's so heavy. Pantera is one. Rage Against the Machine is one. I don't really know any of those songs because I missed that. I'm a different age group. But this is the first song that I was aware of that used drop D tuning. And this is from, I'm going to say this is Van Halen's 2nd album, I think. So there's your heavy D, and here's a bar chord D. So that's Unchained, the first song I ever learned or ever heard of that was a drop D tuning, but you can see how that sounds very heavy, and it gives it a lot of bottom to build up on top of. Van Halen always tunes down a half a step anyway, so what you're really talking about is a drop D flat tuning, because everything's tuned a half step down. I always assumed, or maybe I read when I was a kid, that was to accommodate David Lee Roth's vocal range, but bringing that stuff down does make it heavier. Metallica will sometimes drop down a whole step or more just to get a really heavy, crunchy sound, but it's very difficult to keep your guitars in tune. So anyway, that's a little bit about drop D tuning. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can find something useful in there. And until the next time at Stay at Home Guitar, I'm Jay. We'll see you next time, maybe in 4 months. Bye.